Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Tilo Mad coming at you with a new exclusive clip from the Mad Awesome Show. If you aren't aware of what this is, it's a weekly show that me, myself, and Calvin Awesome do every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So definitely try to come out to these, be a part of the conversation, and also the recording as we do this live. And if you cannot make it, don't feel bad. We got you covered. We are actually releasing this on iTunes and Spotify as a podcast. So definitely give us a follow there. We're trying to get the algorithm up there, as well as our Twitch and our YouTube. Both of us putting in that work, putting in that grind as content creators. So really appreciate any help that we can get. But without any further ado, let's get down to this exclusive Mad Awesome clip.
All right, so Ice House, it's been nice to get to know you. It sounds like I'm saying you have to leave. It's not the case. But we're going to transition a little bit here into the fact that 5v5 is back. So it's been a minute now. Like there have been significant changes in the game. I don't know what has happened in your roster, Ice, but we just got out of 3v3. We have the First Order TIE Pilot Omicron that is now active, that was not active before. We have Sortie in game, and we have Raddus in game as well. So there's been a bunch of changes to GAC 5v5 since the last time we saw it. It doesn't even have to be what you've worked on. We're going to get to that at some point, but if there's overlap, that's fine. But Ice, what are you excited for? What are you expecting? What are you nervous for? Is there something in the game that has changed, or just something in the meta that's changed that is on your mind right now?
Oh, Raddus, Rogue One all day. I rarely fully go all in on a character. The only other one that I fully have gone in on, I guess I have two. One was the Executor, and the other was the original Mandalorian. I loved the insta-kill kit, so I went all in on that one. And Raddus, I think he's just next level. And I know that the testing hasn't shown it, but all the tea leads are dropping to point to Rogue One and gearing up and getting those characters ready. And that's why I thought, and I love his kit. And combine that with Jyn and her little tweak she got with the newest Zeta upgrade was that all Rogue One can't be buff immunity. So I think that it's going to be a pain. I'm not going to place on defense. I actually gave the Omicron to Raddus, and if I invest in a team, I'm going to want to use it. That's just kind of my MO. I invested in Executor from the get-go, and I thought I never placed. I think I may have placed it once on defense in almost a year. I've always used it on offense because for me, I have R8 bounty hunters. So for me, I was almost always going to go first, and I could knock out almost anybody that I was playing. So for me, that was kind of a no-brainer to go with it. And I also think that with Raddus, we're going to get more ships, more Rebel ships. And a new capital ship. So I think
definitely.
It kind of all goes together. So it's like, well, I think that it's a smart investment for my roster. And I'm not nervous, but I'm kind of anxious to see where these datacrons go because I would consider myself a theory crafter, and I want to see what I can come up with from my roster and what these datacrons go. I don't have very many for this first week, so we'll see how it transitions over the next week and what we can find out from these different datacrons, because it's another layer to the planning process and where we're going to go there. Actually, there's a chance that Tilo and I could get paired up.
Oh wow.
We have the same rating and we're like 8 apart from each other, so if everything aligns up, we could actually be in the same pod, which would be awesome.
I was gonna say, this is the first time I've ever wanted someone to quit the game just so we can get matched up.
Oh, okay, someone in between you guys. I was like, you don't want to fight Ice that badly?
No. I want somebody in between us.
Oh, they don't have to quit. They can just forget to pick up their phone for a day.
Yeah, somebody do that. Just let us fight.
Oh, it's awesome.
So I've fought somebody before in my arena shard. That was fun. I've fought 2 people from my guild before. That was fun. And then on my alt, I fought Cubs, and we did that stream live and went back and forth, and that was maybe the most fun I've ever had in this game. just because you're sitting there actually interacting with the person while they're going through your roster and while you're going through their, it's a different experience that I really wish that CG would capitalize on, but I do not feel that that's ever gonna happen, at least not in the next 3 or 4 years.
No, yeah, I wish they would accelerate, but so I would like that to already happen, but it does slightly make when it does happen accidentally super special and cool. Like I'm actually within range. I'd have to check again. Last time I checked was 3-3, but I'm pretty sure I'm in range of both Xerath and Heinze, which
Ooh.
That bracket would be super cool. Like, that would be so much fun, unless it screws me like it did with Endall and we just dodge each other the entire time. But yeah, that stuff's fun. Okay, so sorry to derail or go back here, but you mentioned you're really excited for Raddus. What comp are you using? Have you settled on that?
Don't laugh when I say it, but it's going to be Raddus, Jin, Bodhi, and Chase.
Would you like to elaborate?
Well, because Bodhi's giving out extra offense up, and at the end of his turns with his Zeta, so he's going to do that. He has turn meter mechanics, and he has an assist. So I actually took Bait to R7 today, and I'm going to take Spirit to R7 hopefully before next week. So then I'll have and my Chirrut is wrecking people in testing, and I know that a lot of people think it's kits out of date. I love kits. I've always been a fan of Chase. I hopped on them when the Chase meta came out because I didn't want to move on to Night Sisters, so I stuck with Chase way back in the day. So they've always had a soft spot in my heart, and I absolutely love Rogue One the movie. So it's just kind of not there, but one of my things is I do love underutilized characters and try to find a purpose for them, because that way allows me to use the meta when I need to, but it also gives me some flexibility with putting the meta on the team. And that I have the Ackbar Omicron too, and Ackbar and Leia, and that was a craft that I came up with. I'm like, we got to get people in here that aren't actually attacking. So it's Ackbar, Leia, R2, Hera, and Chopper. And Chopper's my tank there. So I got it. So Leia and Ackbar are assisting nonstop.
No, and if you guys want to see, Ice has a YouTube channel. He has those videos up. Definitely go check them out. I don't know how many times I've watched them and have gotten like this close to getting the Omicron on Ackbar and trying to get that team up. That thing's really, really awesome.
Yeah, and it was an ongoing joke with Grill because, Princess Leia, the original Princess Leia was required R3, and I took her up to R5, and they're like, well, why would you ever do that? Well, Grill was always on my case for it. I love you, Grill. But he was always on my case, trying to say, well, why would you do that? And, there may have been a couple drinks one night, and, let's try it at R5 and see what happens. And then, a couple months later, a couple more drinks, let's try it at R7, see what happens. So,
well, I'm excited for you to see what you can do, because I have kind of crapped on the Ackbar Omicron for a minute now, but I'm excited to see what happens with the Datacrons, because there's a light side, I think it's actually both sides, but there's a Datacron that gives you 5% stacking offense every single time you have like 2 buffs and take a turn. That's gonna be brutal. Like you're gonna be constantly like gaining buffs and just destroying the team.
I have 2 of those for light side. I'm using one with the Ackbar, and I'm going to use the other one with Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah, I think that's going to be really deadly, because that was one of my gripes with them. Like, okay, there's no if you don't have the damage right out the gate, you're not going to get there, and you might just time out. But that's going to hurt.
Well, and with the way that I run that comp, I believe that my R2D2 is at like 330 something. I think he's at 331 or 332, so when he gets to 25 from the lead, and so most teams that I go up against and try it against, I go first because there's no way they're going to get out in front of that unless it's like a Mara Jade or Echo. Sometimes that Echo can get out in front, but for the most part, I use that and I have the turn order down to a science. And because Ackbar assists with Leia that first go around after when he does the smoke screen, that gets the turn meter train going, and it's hard to stop.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Do you have any new targets for who you want to hit with Ackbar and Raddus, or do you just kind of play it by ear?
Well, it's kind of play it by ear, but I mean, I've taken out the only teams that I haven't really taken out and I haven't tried because I know that I don't stand a chance is Darth Revan or Gas. Otherwise, I've tried it against essentially everything else just to see what I can do with it, and I really want to see what these datacrons do, because that might allow me to take out a DR team or a Gas team, depending on what their datacrons are versus my datacrons.
Yeah, I can see Darth Revan. I can see Darth Revan in the right circumstance. Gas is stacking offense from the buffs. Sounds like it might hurt.
Yeah, and so I don't know. I'm pretty set with my bounty hunters on. I believe that I haven't lost a bounty hunter match versus DR in over a year now.
Oh wow.
So that's kind of my go-to for DR, and I know that, and if need be, I'll use it elsewhere. But that's kind of the fail-safe for me, just because I got speed set up, and I did the Zam Omicron as soon as it came out. I got it, and I had enough. That was my first Omicron, and I think that my roster really was kind of built for that kind of a Omicron.
That's really good to know, especially for me. If we fight each other, I'm writing all this down.